All right. So, we're gonna reflect on last week before we get on this new week, right? So before we reflect on this new week, let's turn off the key zone and let's see what the market has been doing, weekly time frame. Like each calendar year represent a week, right? So we saw our price, break this level of support, right? And we saw our price came back down. We had this huge sell, right? Right, breaking this level of support, right? So one thing I notice is that, you know, before you see the main move, before you see the trend coming in, like, you will always see it's either you see accumulation phase or distribution phase, like I explained before. So you want to pay attention just because you understand the niche, like not new strategy, actually, that is just is something I added so that you can also be able to identify those sections properly and to see, how to execute those sections. Some of the time we, some time ago, we only like trade during the Asian section and we get to target 100 pips, right? So we get to target 100 pips. Let's say, for example, on Friday, or let's say on Friday, trade, right? On Friday trades. This kind of setup, we love this kind of setup very well, which is the previous New York support, all right? And price has been what? Price did accumulation phase the previous day, right? We saw our price created a higher high and a higher low, right? A higher high and a higher low. So we saw how the price closed during the previous New York until today, right? So we had a support level, yeah. And this kind of pattern is something you see a lot of time, and this is kind of pattern I like to trade too on Nasdaq, right? And now, yeah, some of the time we tend to like go for 100 pips, right? We tend to do something like this and have, like, let's say we have a previous New York support here. Let's say after price broken above this level of resistance, this little bit of a level of resistance here, we saw the pullback, right? Now let's say after this pullback, this candlestick creating a pullback, yeah, we're testing this level that was broken above. Now let's say here's our entry, and we're targeting about what 100 pips, right? Yeah, before the drop. Let's say we are targeting 100 pips, right? And we're having a 25 pip stop loss. Let's say 25 pip stop loss. So 25 pip stop loss is around the previous New York support. So this is kind of the setup we love to take, right? This is kind of the setup we like to take. But then over time, I was able to understand that, you know what, you can also take the New York section. Now, the thing you need to understand that those New York session can be aggressive. You understand, like the movement during the New York session is so aggressive, especially, this is indices, right? The market is so volatile during the New York session where the main move is gonna create. But then most of the time, just because you catch the 100 pip during the Asian session doesn't mean you cannot take trade during the New York session. Well, if actually you are done for the day, maybe that was your target for the day, is understandable, right? But letting, like you can also catch other big moves. That's why I was able to let you know that, okay, this is the type of thing you want to watch out. On Wednesday was another type of trade I love. On Wednesday, right, see something like this, right? We saw price created a previous New York resistance level, right? On Wednesday we saw that drop, right? Let's say we have a previous New York resistance. The price came to retest that level about 2 times, right? Did not break above, right? So we had a drop, and we also have a previous New York support level, yeah, because price is already trending. Now we see price ranging at this moment, right? So we saw our price, you test this level 2 times or more than 2 times. This first test, we saw price coming back to this level to test this level again. We saw price come back to this level to test again. The other thing was my confirmation. Actually, I took the trade that day, and my entry was there, and my target was above this level, yeah. And what was the reason? I had a 25 pip stop loss, yeah. Yeah, I had the 25 pip stop loss at the trade, and I target that high because I knew price would likely come touch there if we see price breaking above this level of resistance, but we did not see price breaking above that level. We end up seeing price breaking above that level on Thursday and Friday. So what I saw there, since I missed out this Asian entry, we saw our price, came back to retest the level. First, London session came to retest that level. Did not break above that previous resistance level. So we have a previous New York resistance that was not played above, right? So now, if you miss this opportunity during the Asian entry, which you understand, right? Let's say you miss the entry, so you can still also take a trade during the New York session. And what happened there, we saw our price started ranging a little bit. If you go on 5 minutes time frame, you see price was ranging, and the RSI also showed price as about sold, which is also extra confirmation, right? And the other confirmation is also a DMS, right? Let's say that area is area that doesn't make sense. Like I said before, if price would continue to buy, because I think price is already trending, price is creating higher high, higher low, right? So thought price will likely want to create new higher high. Eventually we didn't see price creating the higher high on that Wednesday. So what happened there is that I was thinking price is likely going to come play that high. Though that's what happened, right? Price touched there, but didn't clear above this level of resistance. So the reason why I was confident with the trade again, even if I was taking the entry during the New York session, I knew price was volatile during that time. So, you want to be able to stay on the trade, you understand? So you want to be able to take the trade even if you miss this Asian entry. Yeah. So this is a DMS level. We had a lot of session resistance, which is a DMS area that doesn't make sense, right? So since we're already trending, buyers are active in the market. So I was looking for buy already, looking at, okay, since we saw price rejecting this level here, we had a level here, price came to reject this previous New York support level here. And don't forget again, we also have a DMS that was hoping to come clear below. That was why I was even actually confident again. So we have a DMS here. Look at that area there. That support level started during the London session, which is not normal, right? Like I explained before, which is not normal. So you can see our price started forming the support level, and New York session formed the support level above, right? So now this is area I think price would likely come clear out, right? So what happened? We saw Asian session creating a lower low, right? We saw our price creating a lower high, not break above this previous New York resistance. Eventually, we saw what happened during the New York session. We saw a big push. Price broke above this DMS level, right? And though price has already created another DMS level that you hoping that if I would take a buy entry during the New York session, that would be my target. So if the seller would come active, let's say price is likely going to reverse, we would likely see price clearing this high first of all before the reversal, right? So now we saw our price came back. That was how I took the entry, and I put my target above here. I didn't even want to put my target high because I was like, let me just target, since I'm day trading on that day, because I had a drawdown already from a month, as it was on Tuesday, price took me out, so I'll take the trade. So that was the reason why I got into the entry, because we had a DMS on Tuesday. Price came back to clear out that DMS area. We saw our price again came back again to clear out that Wednesday, the DMS area, that is London support, London resistance level, right? Before we saw our price drop down. So that was it. And this is for you to understand that you can also take entry during the New York session when the main move, even if you missed out was the Asian entry, you understand, you can still also take entry during the New York session confidently, right? Understanding that this is what the market is doing at that time. Take your time to analyze the trade properly. So what happened again on Tuesday? The main thing you want to understand is what happened on Tuesday again after price on Thursday, sorry, because we had an Asian sale, right? If you took a sale on Thursday during Asian session, you can still get hold of something. So price already has created weak volume on Wednesday, right? So we didn't see price creating a higher high on Wednesday. So price came back down and created support level. We see price, creating a weak volume. This price came back to reject this level here. Did not close above this level of resistance. At this point, when price already has closed this level here, I was hoping price would likely come down to sell, but I didn't know if price would likely break this level of support. But I was hoping price would likely come down to sell. What I was thinking is that we might likely see price dropping because price has already cleared out this DMS level, right? So now we had a weak volume during the Wednesday closed, right? On Thursday, Asian section, we saw our price created a support level, price came back to touch that level again. We saw price melting that. So if you were awake at that time, you were able to, you might probably have been able to catch about, let's say, 61 piece, and which is actually good. You understand? It's still something, but then that's not the kind of setup we like to take. Right, the max we want to go is 100 piece, but if you see like 70 piece is also something, so you want to secure something for yourself, right? So on that same Thursday, we saw our price reversing. Price closed during the London session. During the London session, at this point, price was just ranging like crazy. It's kind of confusing because now price created a DMS level, we saw our price create support level during the London section, right? And what happened again? We saw our price came back to close below. But at this point, now the candlestick information and the way the market is creating higher high and higher low, this will give you an insight. But this kind of setup, this is something you don't really want to take, right? Because price is kind of ranging at this point. It's creating bunch of weak volume. So the main move was actually last 2 weeks Thursday, where we saw the price started making the main move, right? But then price has already created opportunity for us for nearest future. Let's say next 2 weeks, right? With price has created a DMS area for we to have an insight. I will might likely come clear this level. Take note, right? So these are level. I'm thinking price will likely come clear later, but then before price will likely come clear those areas, right? What are we hoping to see? We need to see a full distribution phrase. So this is a DMS area here. We have this DMS support level. We have the DMS support level again. We also have a DMS support level again here, right? What I mean by a DMS support level area that doesn't make sense, right? This is the London support level. So price will likely come clear this level. So on Friday, when we saw this market drop on Friday, I was hoping price would likely continue to sell, but we didn't see price continuing that sell on Friday. Price kept rejecting that level over there, and we had price close, creating a bunch of, price was just rejecting those levels. But looking at 1 hour time frame on Friday, we saw how this candlestick information was just closing above. So what I think this new week is going to do, but before we go into this new week, I will reflect on what's it called, on last 2 weeks Thursday trade. We saw our price create a accumulation phrase. This is a very good example of accumulation phrase, right? So we saw our price created a support level during the New York session. We saw our price breaking above this level here, creating a higher high, right? And we saw our price the next day. We saw our price creating a bullish move during the New York session, right? But before then, we saw a move during the Asian session. So if you were active, you might probably catch this move, right? Asian session, and catch about 100 pips, right, during the Asian session on that last week's Thursday. But then still, I had the sell set up, right? Hoping that price would likely come sell first before the buy, which was correct. So, but I was not able to catch this buy. I actually took a buy, but I was stop out during my B. I had a B, and price stopped me out. So you can see price already created something here. We saw our price created a DMS level here, right? And a DMS level here. So what happened during those sections is that we saw our price, a area needs to get cleared for the main move to happen. So for you to take entry during the New York session, this is the kind of setup you want to look. You want to go for high probability setup. High probability setup is so important, please, so that you would not get stuck. Like now, let's say you had a position still on Thursday, you will not be, fighting on the next 2 weeks, like, oh, you're trying to get in too much position next week. So you want to pay attention and understand that sometimes those kind of move that happened previously will not happen again. It takes time. The market has to range a little bit before we see a bigger push, right? You understand? So that's one thing you want to pay attention to. Well, on that same Thursday, which is 2nd of May, this month, we saw our price created a DMS area during the London session and before the New York session, right? But making sure the area was cleared before the main move started. So you can see this DMS support level was cleared out below before we saw our price started pushing up. So these are the same thing. I've talked about this before. We saw another this trade that took during those last 2 weeks too. But let's go into this week actually. But before then, if there's any question anyone want to ask, understand, so we can dive into it. You say what?
I'm clear with you.
So you cleared. So the thing is that going into the next week, one thing we need to pay attention to is that higher time frame is the big brother, right? Higher time frame is the big brother. Higher time frame is more authentic, right? So you need to pay attention to see what higher time frame is doing and look at those candlestick information, look at the market structure so that you can have an insight of the direction of the market and know when to position and how to use your leverage properly. You understand? So with that way, you'll be able to predict the market on the market move right properly. So looking on weekly time frame, price still look like it's bullish. We saw our price created, a weak volume actually during before we saw this old drop, right? This old sell. But then we saw our price, creating a pullback. So looking at the weekly time frame candlestick information, this candlestick actually closed above this one. We might likely see price continue buying this new week with my own insider. So we saw this candlestick information here, right? Closing above. Current price is $18,249, right? We saw this candlestick information close above this one. Looking at this candlestick information closing above this one, right? So looking at it, it means we saw, looking at daily time frame, price still look bullish, kind of, because price created a distribution phase. We saw our price creating a weak volume. So this sell is declining, and we saw our price did not continue selling and creating a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and a higher low. And we saw our price creating almost 3 consecutive low. Might likely see price buying. And with that being said, we also have a DMS area that likely going to get cleared, and that is actually our initial target, right? This level here, right? We might likely see price clearing that resistance level, right? We might likely see price clearing that resistance level. So, and like I explained before, the reason why I think price likely come here because the main move usually start during the New York session. Like I said, right? Like if price would be selling for a long time, or let's say price would be selling, for why you would start during the New York session. But if something like this happen and you still see prices creating a trend, it means price will likely come that level again and clear out that level. So if you miss out this wholesale, there's going to always be opportunity for you to take the buy when price is coming back to clear out that resistance level. So hopefully we might likely see price clearing out this resistance level, which is also known as the MS level, right? So we still also have see how the price candle was closing. Price was kind of ranged. So at this point, I think price will likely want to continue buying for me. But then let's see how the market open. But you understand, because this wholesale now look like a decline. We saw our price creating a bunch of range, creating a weak volume. Price was creating a weak volume at this point because price did not continue that sell, right? We didn't see price creating a lower low at this point, right? So looking at one hour time frame, our previous New York will be at this level, yeah, right? So my likely see price, let's say our previous New York is there. But let's come down to 15 minutes time frame. Let's see where we can pull it. Okay, let's say yeah, our previous New York is there. But hopefully we might likely see our price rejecting this level. But I think price likely want to continue to buy during the Asian session open, which is today. So my likely see price buying back, stand and coming back up to touch those level, right? To clear out this level and mark here. Stand. So looking at 1 hour time frame too, it does still make sense. I think price would likely come to that level and clear that level, right? Because at this point, price is still kind of bullish. We haven't seen confirmation for distribution freeze yet for which to identify. It mean, like I said before, you don't do out of your plan. Just trade the trend. It's more easy and more easy to trade the trend. Identify those sections properly. Identify what the market is doing on higher time frame. Which one is more in your best to take in your direction. So watch what direction the market is. It doesn't even go on only Nasdaq alone. It goes on what on other instruments, I think, right? Understand what the market is doing at that time, right? Understand what section you're going to be looking at and maintain that section. You understand? So now price is kind of creating a weak volume, but that doesn't mean the reversal is just going to start right now. So we want to be able to identify. And on Friday, the reason why I was hoping price was likely going to continue that sell, and I stated that if price did not continue that sell, we still have DMS above that, probably going to get cleared out, right? But we did see price continue to sell, like creating a lower low. So, and also the reason why I say price is likely going to get cleared because we also have a DMS below here, right? We also have a DMS that might likely going to clear out, but which happened, we didn't see that. That move did not happen on that day, right? So we want to see how this week is gonna go. But in the future, I'm hoping we're gonna see sell. I think before the end of this month, we're probably gonna see a wood sell coming back down again. Before this end of this May, hopefully. But let's see how price open on Monday and this new week, right? During the Asian session, sorry, to see what the move direction. But for me, I feel like this new open of this week, which is on Sunday, we might likely see price selling. Sorry, not selling, continue buying. So, but if we see price creating a lower low again, and depending on the section, we might likely see price breaking below this level, this DMS level, right? So, but from now, price is moving, like it's just consolidating a little bit here. We need to see how the market open for we to have a clear view of where the direction is gonna be. And if there's any question before I move on again on Nasdaq, if there any question, we all understand what distribution and accumulation phase mean already, right?
Right.
So now, and also don't forget your accumulation phase and distribution phase, you would always see those patterns even in lower time frame. So that those phrases are phrases that will make you want to exit a trade quickly because you saw price did not actually continue a lower low, price did not actually create a lower high. So you'll be able to see all those things understand during those lower time frame so that you can make a decision properly. But once you see those kind of phrases during the higher time frame, know that a big move is coming soon, right? So a big move is coming soon. So let's say now we had a accumulation phrase on Thursday. This is an example of accumulation phrase, right? We saw our price finally breaking above this level of what? Resistance, right? Sorry, I think we have like 10 minutes for this call to end. So we saw our price breaking that level of resistance. And what happened there? Price created a higher high section. But what I was hoping this NFP here, this whole move that happened in the NFP on Friday last week, right? Last 2 weeks, right? I was thinking price would likely create a big week to test this level here. I was hoping price would likely come to test this level here, right? That was what I was hoping before the main move is gonna happen. Like price is gonna buy, but then we just see price creating that big push, right? Continue buying at that point. So with that being said, we want to pay attention to those phrases. So if we see them on 4-hour time frame, like 4-hour time frame, then we are like, okay, you know what? I think price is gonna create a kind of big move. So for example, we had a distribution phase, yeah, right? And we had an accumulation phase, yeah. So my likely say price getting clearing this above here. So let's pay attention and let's see how this new week goes. Understand? So I feel like price is likely gonna continue buying. And I want to touch on US oil too, because there's a setup I saw on US oil that would likely make sense. I think I had a setup already on US oil. Yeah. Which is kind of what I'm saying right there. So I feel like this is kind of a swing trade, right? But then we saw how this weekly time frame candlestick, this weekly candlestick information closed below, above this one, right? We saw our price rejected this level here. So what would happen is that during the new week candlestick, we might likely see price retesting this level. So this move will not just happen like that. We might still see price consolidating this new week, right, a little bit before we see a big push. Or if not, price will likely drop more. But let's see how it goes. But this is kind of a swing trade for me, right? It's kind of swing trade. This is like about 17%. So I feel like price is gonna buy from $78 per barrel. My likely see price coming back up to this level and hitting about $91, if I'm correct, $91 per barrel on US oil. So but let's see how this new week goes. And back to Nasdaq. We have about 7 minutes more for this call to end. If there's any question, you can ask me, guys. Now let's talk about also, I think the same move is happening on US 30. This is a weak volume. I likely see price selling. We're testing this level here. If price did not break above this level of resistance, now this candlestick information is already closed. My likely see price selling again, but for we to have a full confirmation, price needs to create those distribution first properly, right? And looking at it in a buy kind of setup, you understand price already is creating a weak volume. Let's say this buy price is already creating a weak volume, right? And we saw our price created, let's say, our price created a resistance level, right? And well, my likely say price dropping. And looking at RSI confirmation too, RSI is giving us a weak volume, right? We have a overbought at this point, and my likely say price dropping. But those candlesticks needs to create information. Even SP500 too is kind of having the same pattern too. And coming back to Nasdaq, look the same way, right? Weak volume. I likely see a drop, but then let's see our price open this new week. Understand? Let's see our price open this new week. So, and that with that being said, the new open will give us an insight of what the week is gonna look like, right? Right. And don't forget, if we eventually see price breaking below this support level, we should be taking the sell, right? Because we had a DMS level that will likely get cleared out. Even if you're not targeting here, you should be targeting this one here first, right? This level is gonna come clear out. And yeah, that's my take on Nasdaq. Put your eyes on the chart, back test as much as you can, and let's see how this new will go. I hope we have a profitable week. And if there's any question anyone wanna ask before we leave, can ask.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like what time frame is best to identify the market structure.
So the best time frame, let me even off some of this one. The best time frame is 1 hour and 15. I feel like I focus on more 1 hour and 15 for like when it comes to lower time frame, 1 hour and 15. So this is the time frame I want to put here. Lower time frame 1 hour and 15. Higher time frame for swing is 4 hours. Let's say 4 hours daily time frame. Monthly time frame is good. Like if I want to identify what the month is gonna look like, what this whole month is gonna look like, right? And looking at this whole month too, I feel like price is gonna have a big push. You're gonna see a big sell. Let's say June, before the end of this month, June, let's say we might likely see a big sell coming, a big sell. We might likely see a big sell coming. So I also identify this as the accumulation phrase. Don't forget, price created a lower low. This is a daily time frame on Nasdaq too, right? If this candlestick rejected, we see price rejecting this level without breaking above this DMS level. We're thinking price will likely break. My likely see price was reversing and clearing out this level. So we also have a DMS level here. What if you check this area here, you're gonna find the DMS level. Right, yeah, this area, yeah, good. So if price will likely want to create a lower low again, we have a DMS area here. If you go back to 4 hour time frame, you're gonna see that level there was yeah. So we have a DMS level, yeah, you can see. Yeah, we have the MS level here, right? So this level will likely want to get cleared out. So pay attention and see, and that'll be like a future sell. Hopefully, it's done. So for the time frame, what I focus more is 1 hour, 15 minutes time frame, and for like if I'm gonna hold a trade for some while. I focus more on 4 hours time frame, and sometimes I come down to 1 hour time frame. Understand? So yeah, that's it. So I think we're gonna end the call here. There's something here. Let's pay attention to this section, right? This section is important. Like I said before, just because you take Asian entry and look at the previous New York support or resistance doesn't mean you're also going to place more when the New York session comes. You can still identify and take entry during the New York session. Like I've explained before, the DMS level, the certain area that needs to be get cleared for you to be able to predict the main move. You understand? So those area is what you want to like focus on. Let's say, for example, on what before this whole sell, you can actually would have catch the sell, right? Let's say you're looking to sell. Just because you're looking to sell, price has already created the MS level, yeah, and you know that price already is buying during the Asian session. So let's focus more on Friday. Let's not even talk about this Thursday DMS here, right? So we have a 1 minute more for this cut in. So now let's say you're about to sell, right? Even if you've missed this move, so price has already created a DMS level, right? So price create a resistance level during the New York session, which is known as DMS, right? So now for the main move to happen, we likely say, okay, for we to take a sell setup, yeah. Now that level needs to get cleared out for we to take sell, right? So now what happened there? Price came back to clear that level of resistance. So at this point here, you'll be confident to take the sell, hoping that price will likely come clear this one again. Yeah, we have a DMS level here, right? So if you're not even targeting this previous this Asian support, you'll be targeting this London support here, which price will likely come touch, right? And so that's it. So knowing that some certain areas needs to get cleared, that's how you predict the main move. So I hope you have a profitable week, and see you guys on the chat, man. Bless up. Peace out, man.
Peace out.
Yeah.